just for me, but for all my sisters who are unable to be here today. For all of Allison's victims who do not have a voice, to not only warn you and the rest of the world, but to also shine light on the truth of who Allison Mack truly is. Allison Mack is a predator and an evil human being, a danger to society with no care, remorse, or empathy for her victims. When I woke up one morning to an article about her asking for no jail time because she turned her life around, I was horrified. I wanted to scream to the top of my lungs. I was triggered back into a memory of a real-life nightmare she had already put me through. Your Honor, my name is Jessica Joan. Through this case, you've known me as Witness J. You heard my story and all the horrors I've had to endure growing up, from being raped, molested, to being abandoned by my mother as a small child. And with all of that combined, Allison Mack and Keith Raniere are the most evil monsters I've ever met. I met Allison on my first trip to Albany. She was a proctor leading my group during the ESP intensive. From the moment I met her, she made me feel like she was a kind, loving, and deeply empathetic person. The way she would look into my eyes and make me feel seen, like she really cared. She felt like the big sister I wish I had. Even at the very beginning of joining the vow, she would tell me how she'd always be there to look after and protect me. Allison knew all the right things to say in order to lure me in. Once I joined the vow and learned that she was my grandmaster, she admitted that she was intentionally leading my group in order to find out who I was. So from the very beginning, she was probing into my psyche, learning what made me tick and what drove me, and also my deepest vulnerabilities. Allison is very clear and calculated in the moves she makes, just like when she would randomly ask me how I felt about Keith, what did I think about him, or when she told me that seduction and sexual power isn't bad if it's used for good. The whole time she had been playing me, and worst of all, grooming me into becoming a sex slave for her beloved Keith Raniere. Allison maliciously gave me, a survivor of rape and sexual assault, a special assignment, an honor and privilege to seduce Keith and have him take a naked picture of me to prove I did it. And when I pushed back, confused, I asked if Keith knew about the vow. She blatantly lied and said that doing this assignment would get rid of all of my issues around having been sexually abused. This demon of a woman literally tried to use my pain, suffering, and traumas against me to be abused by another monster. She intended and tried to hurt the little girl inside of me yet again. The little girl that she watched cry her eyes out night after night reliving these traumas. Let me be very clear. She ended the phone call with a sinister, and I give you permission to enjoy it. So when she was on house arrest, hanging with her family, taking Berkeley's women's studies courses online, and enjoying the Orange County sunshine and sipping lattes and putting on lip gloss with her friends, her victims were left hiding in the dark corners of their homes, reliving the fear, silence, and horror that Allison put us through. She worked her way into my heart. She made me believe that she would do anything for me. But the truth is, she sought me out like a predator stalking their prey, another little lamb for her to slaughter. She sought the little Jess inside of me and exploited her. She stabbed her and watched her bleed out. I could blame myself for falling for it, but the truth is I was so desperately needing to feel loved. I felt so alone. Everyone in my life had left me in the dust, and I just wanted to feel like I mattered, that someone cared about me. Allison will never know the feeling and the ramifications of her actions. She's grown up in a pretty and privileged life, always protected, never knowing the consequences of her actions. She plays the victim so well. She can blame Keith all she wants, but she's a monster cut from the same cloth. The fact of the matter is she gained pleasure out of other people's pain, myself included. I saw the evil glimmer in her eyes and the sick, sadistic smile on her face whenever she would punish us. She took great pride and joy knowing she had total control, having blackmail to make us do whatever she wanted. She used fear to intimidate and coerce her supposed sisters to do things against our will. I truly believe there aren't enough years in the rest of her lifetime to even begin to undo the harm, pain, and suffering she has caused me and the rest of her victims. If I would have gone through her attempt to sex traffic me, I know I wouldn't be able to stand here in front of you today. and to think I'm one of the lucky ones. I don't have to walk around with a permanent brand on my pelvic region. None of the beautiful symbols representing the elements that she claimed of her and Keith's initials. Women mutilated and branded like cattle for her to forever have power and dominion over, with that symbol burned onto their bodies. Again, I stand here not only for myself, but for all the countless victims unable to be present today, and the friends, families, and loved ones forever affected by Allison's actions. Her poison does not only affect the victims and loved ones, but it bleeds into future generations. I repeat this from the depths of my heart. Allison Mack is an evil sociopath, a menace to society, and a danger to innocent beings. She may put on a good show, but don't let her fool you. I know exactly who she is. She is the Ghislaine Maxwell to Keith's Jeffrey Epstein. And I just pray that she gets what she deserves.
Absolutely.